y'all? This is Common right here, and you are now in tune with Sports Rap Live right here on Sports Talk 790 AM, iHeartRadio. Y'all stay in tune with it. All right? Love.
Yo, one dude you could see definitely coming down the back nine on Sunday at the Masters is Common. So shout out to Common. Thank you for the drop. Appreciate you. Hey, real quick, the Twitter's kind of blowing up after we had Gary Parrish and Short Dog from Young Money on. Andrew, you're over there cracking up. My man Parrish is, hey, you know what? It's all good, man. Hey, it's all in the true tree here. Yeah. If you ain't feeling somebody, that's all right, because there's certain MCs that I might call out on air. Might give a bad rap to. Believe me, there's more than a few that I could. I don't know. I'm not going there yet. But
I just sent a shout out to Dan Wolkin, trying to get him on the show.
Why not?
Yeah.
Why not? Now, what does Wolkin cover? Does he cover more sports or just?
He does. He covers sports over for the Daily. It's one of those publications that's on the iPad. It's like a newspaper on there, so you have to subscribe to it on there. But he's a good writer.
Awesome. Well, hey, Wolkin, if you want to get on anytime, the line is open. If you guys want to jump on,
he just said sure whenever.
Awesome.
So we might have him on for our Thursday show.
That sounds good. Well, we got to decide what we're going to talk to him about because we got the rest of the slate tonight jam-packed. We still have more special guests checking in. My man Smoke Dizza is coming on later to tell you about his new project, Because I Felt Like It, which is a great name for dropping a mixtape. I love that. And, man, Fife Diggy Dog is going to check in from A Tribe Called Quest and talk some NBA basketball. I want to hear you guys go round and round about Melo and the Knicks because apparently they beat the Bulls and they're back.
Well, they have no defense, so I'll be impenetrable.
Exactly, and I don't think Derrick Rose is playing much defense right now coming off a groin injury.
Well, it's his first day back.
We'll get into that.
We
will. All right, well, hey, let's get into some golf because without Tiger in the mix on a Sunday in the Masters. Now, Andrew, you and I kind of went round and round about this before the show even started, which is some of the best radio ever between the breaks and before the show.
The show you never hear is sometimes better than the show you do hear.
That's
not always true, but sometimes.
Sometimes it is. Yeah,
so I got to be here live and effective.
Right here at Junction Bar and Grill. Definitely. I mean, you never know, man. Young Money might be in the house. So shout out to Papa G. That's one of the trillest names right now that I've heard. Yep, Rack City. All right, well, without Tiger in the mix, surprisingly, I was glued to the TV.
Well, let's start off that Tiger was in the mix early. I mean, he's always in the mix.
Day one?
Well, day 1 and 2. But then we have to talk about the meltdown
and
that he had.
I went camping, and what happened?
Well, you weren't watching, but we have to talk about the meltdown that he had where he kicked the club, and that kind of drew a lot of national attention, and people were kind of writing him off, being like, what's Tiger's attitude, and his bad attitude is leading to why he's not, being able to turn the corner.
What has Tiger done that hasn't grabbed national attention? That's my issue.
Well, he can't. He's always going to grab national attention. If you win, lose, draw, whatever. Yeah. Finish 4th, finish 8th, finish 25th.
If you've been on a Gatorade bottle, that means you had some attention. You're gonna get attention regardless.
I mean, that guy, he's a celebrity, national celebrity. He's like a part of the paparazzi tabloid culture. So he's gonna draw headlines no matter where he goes.
Well, and he was nowhere to be seen today as far as paparazzi or cameras.
I'm actually happy about that because he made the cut. But what I don't like is whenever Tiger makes the cut and they keep on showing him to show what he's doing.
Exactly.
I'm like, show me who's in contention.
Exactly.
I think CBS is starting to figure that out, and that's part of the new culture is show me who's in contention. They might be a hot young name that no one knows about, but I'd rather watch that than to see Tiger, go blow another bogey on 18
It's kind of because I don't like to merge like NASCAR and golf, but they're good about that because there was a time where Jimmy Johnson was killing it, and then everyone was kind of like on their heels with him, but he's been it hasn't been his perfect season or anything like that. But they would always give you a heads up where he's leading, but then they'll give you a heads up of who's on the top of the leaderboard,
right.
Whether it's Tony Stewart or a new guy coming through, they're able to balance it out a little bit.
And the biggest story after the first 2 days, I think even locally, was Fred Couples.
Yeah.
Because Freddie Couples, I mean, that's a guy that's pretty much dominated the Houston scene for a long time.
52 years old.
Yeah, this will probably be his last PGA tournament, maybe professionally, before he goes to maybe the Champions Tour officially. He's also going to be part of the Ryder Cup. But, to watch him really dominate, the Shell Houston Open, he always does well. But he really did pretty well, as well as he could, going into the Masters.
Yeah, well, Freddie kind of does this every year. He kind of teases the course. He kind of teases the fans and gives CBS great sports talk.
Every major, you need to have that one Grizzly vet that's in contention, that's always pushing the crowd and gives everyone that national, that national story that people want to follow.
He's done it 2 out of the last 3 years too. He did it a couple years ago. He kind of flirted with being there on the final Sunday, but really kind of faded in the end. Well, one guy that's been around forever who has 3 green jackets already, Phil, he battled with the young guns, as Gons mentioned, including Bubba Watson, Louis Oosthuizen, Matt Kuchar, Lee Westwood, and in the end, with the man with the hot pink driver, had his Sunday best on. He was tight white.
And really, I think Phil could have been in contention the whole way, but it's that one hole on the 4th, Adam, when he took that triple. I pulled up the, I think I had the little GIF here a minute ago, the little picture where it showed what he was doing. But it was just that one hole. If he had avoided, and that's what so makes some of these Masters and these big championship, level tournament so tough is it's that one mistake that can ruin the whole round for you.
Well, hey, speaking of mistakes, it was Louis Oosty. Yeah, Oosty, who was your captain of your fantasy team this weekend. He really just, I don't want to say made mistakes, but
he scrambled pretty well. It seemed like he would get off to a bad start in a hole, and he'd figure out how to pull it, out of his butt, and get right back to par.
How huge was that albatross today? The double eagle.
Oh, dude, that was nasty.
Did you see it? Par 5, G. Second stroke with an iron, just across the green buckets.
Yeah. Did you say swag when it went in?
I
bet you did.
He probably gave a swag salute.
Swag salute.
Absolutely, because that set him from 3rd place to 1st, and he just rolled.
That's a hell of a shot on a par 5.
Matt Kuchar got back in it on the 15th.
Yeah.
But you know what? It was Bubba's turn, and I'm so happy for Bubba Watson because
he's a very emotional guy too. He's gone through a lot. He's gone through a lot.
He's gone through a lot with his dad passing, a year and a half ago. But most importantly, he is an admitted ADD patient, ADD case, where he admits that he loses focus, he loses sometimes what he's doing on the golf course because he's got a million thoughts racing through his head, which I can relate to a little bit, and that's been Tiger's biggest snafu lately is his mental game, I think. Well, until recently when it's a combination of all, but
yeah, Tiger has a multitude of things he's working through.
He does, but Bubba, that's the most important part of the game, and for once, he really didn't take it from Oosty, but he won it.
It's also nice to see a guy who wears his emotions on his sleeve to let. And the other thing is, he's a UGA guy. He's an SEC guy. So to be there in Georgia as a Georgia guy, there were people shouting out like, the Georgia chants. There. When he was doing there, I already saw SEC guy. SEC's already like, another one. We won another one. SEC football, SEC basketball, Masters don't matter. We won.
Oh my God, it's disgusting. What does his trophy case look like? SEC guy, if you're out there listening, and you're winding down from an Easter with the entire Cog Slaughter crew, and you want to call in, please do it, 713-212-5790. But yeah, I mean, God, how many SEC championships can we get?
I will say this, though, and the one guy that I was rooting for the whole day, it wasn't my guy, who was Oosty, is Lee Westwood. Lee Westwood still holds the crown as the top guy to never have won one, and today he finishes 3rd. Do you know how many times he's finished 3rd at the British Open? It's like every year. It's literally like every year he finishes 3rd at the British Open. So it's difficult to see him. Yeah, he ate the bad mushroom and died. It's disappointing to see him, yet again come up short. I mean, it's a testament to how good he is that he's always in contention, but I feel bad, that he was not able to get it done once again.
Well, hey, what are some of the highlights from this weekend for you?
I think definitely the hole you hit on, what was the 4th hole, whatever it was, the par 5.
First time that's ever been done on that hole.
Yeah, that was pretty impressive. Outside of that, I thought some of the low scores that we saw, like Adam Scott today, the 600, they didn't really show that much of it, but there were some low scores out there to be had, and I think some of those guys went out there and got them. Also, the highlights were so many missed putts down the stretch today. Even when you watched Oosty battle with Bubba Watson, there was the one where Oosty missed it on the first playoff hole, and you're like, oh, he's done. But then Bubba Watson missed the next one too, and it's just like, okay, so then you see Bubba Watson get himself in trouble.
Even before the playoff hole, Bubba had one where he ran it. He was on the line, but he ran a little too hard. It kind of literally lipped down.
Yeah, it lipped in and out.
That would have taken a one-stroke lead, and he wouldn't have had to go to a playoff.
Right. It's just I was just so impressed with how tough the course played, especially the greens, because that was what Oosty was able to keep himself alive with the scrambling and his putter. And in the end, it was so many of those different weird shots that the course just played so tough. But at the end, I think the best shot I saw all tournament was the Bubba Watson second shot whenever he got stuck in the woods, and he still crushed it and put it right there on the green to give himself an incredible chance. He ended up 2-putting because he could have, but just that shot showed that he went out there and kind of won it.
He sure did.
It didn't come back to him, he went out there and won it,
Right. Whether or not he made that last
that was the best shot I saw the whole tournament. Yes, Oosty had the 2 shot, we got the two on there when it was, the double eagle, double eagle, double birdie, whatever you want to call it. But that shot that he had there to basically win the tournament was the most exciting thing for me.
Well, Andrew, another topic we talked about before the show started was golf now at the present. You know what? Tiger really seems to be kind of falling into the rearview mirror of some of these kids. As you keep laughing on the Twitter, I can't wait to read it later on. At Sports Rap Live, that's Rap with 2 P's. Make sure you guys
Parrish, we're not throwing you under the bus. Don't worry. They're not going to diss you on the Carter 5.
Oh, absolutely not.
He's worried.
We got your back, son. All day. He's one of our new best friends, man. I don't care. Weezy, hey, Weezy's a sports fan, but he's not Gary Parrish. That's all I got to say. All right, so what do you think about this new crop of golfers? Are you excited? I mean, these guys.
Think it's really exciting because it's exciting to figure out who is going to establish himself. I think we now know that Rory has one of those games to where he's going to be in contention or be a favorite. But it's interesting to see who some of the other guys. They also have a lot of personality that are young to see what they're going to be doing. So, you know, that Bubba Watson, he's actually a part of what's called the Golf Boys.
Yeah.
And it's him,
you too.
Crane, Mahan, and who's the last guy I'm leaving up? He's another young guy.
Who shouted out? Somebody on Twitter shouted out Hunter Mahan for wearing a flat bill with a snapback. They said that's not a good look, son. So just letting you know, Hunter Mahan.
Oh, and Ricky Fowler. Those 4 are the Golf Boys, and they actually have come out with a bunch of different funny songs and whatnot, all for charity and whatnot. It's on iTunes and on YouTube.
Definitely. Well,
I think that's part of the. That's kind of the young guys I like to look forward to.
And the South Africans. Don't get it twisted. I mean,
Schwartzel and Usti.
Between Gary Player and then some of the guys that you see winning now, I mean, that's big. That's big for South Africa.
It's not just Ernie Els anymore.
Well, hey, before we get to the top of the hour, Andrew, what can golf fans look forward to the rest of the year?
I'm looking forward to TPC Sawgrass. That one has the hole that I think it's like the 16th, maybe it's the 14th. That has the island, where it's basically the island shot. That's really it's so tough to hit. So I'm looking forward to that. That'll be right around the corner.
That was a Golden Tee favorite, TPC Sawgrass.
Oh yeah, that's
for all my Golden Tee players.
So that'll be in about a month from now, and then in mid-June we're gonna have the U.S. Open at the Olympic Club. I think that's out in San Francisco. And then in July, we're going to have the British Open at St. Anne's. And then after that, it pretty much gets into sort of playoff mode for the PGA. But I'm looking forward to TPC Sawgrass, which is going to be right around the corner. There's also the Texas Valero Open, I think, is in 2 weekends.
Which is the other big Texas tournament.
Yeah.
All right, well, hey, you know what? We're getting to the top of the hour. You guys enjoyed yourself. Thank you guys for coming out. We're here at Junction Bar and Grill, 160 West Gray, in the shadow of downtown Houston. My man Hardcore in the house tonight. Got to shout him out. Salute. Absolutely. Diamond Dave, the rest of the posse over there. They're going to be performing with Action Bronson and Killicalion at Numbers. Of course, you see the poster right here at Sports Rap Live. April 28th. Cannot wait to see that show. We're going to be out there. It's a Saturday night. And Lunaface is also putting on The Far Side next Sunday night right after Sports Rap Live. So we're going to go over there and check it out. She keeps on passing me by, running all the jams. Your mama. The jams you know from Far Side, and Lunaface is going to be right down the street there at Numbers on Westheimer. So we're going to take you to the top of the hour. I think we have a special guest to talk baseball tonight, Andrew.
We do. DJ Castle.
DJ Castle? Where's DJ Castle? If he could make his way.
I saw him in the building.
All right, well, if he could make his way to the table right now, maybe he's getting a fresh beverage here at Junction Bar and Grill. But hey, you're riding with us. If you're out there riding home from Easter dinner, why don't you call in and let us know what you were eating on? Man, we're
gonna be talking about our eats here in a minute when we talk about these Astros.
Oh, definitely so. And I'm gonna make my way, and I'm not gonna miss any sports action because they have 4 screens in the bathroom here at Junction Bar Grill.
Wow.
I'm gonna make my way to the men's room. I'm gonna let you bring it back at the top of the hour after Buku 1, and let's take it to the Diamond. Keep our eye on the Diamond right here on Sports Rap Live.